Welcome guys, Gio here, hope you're doing great. And in this video I want to show you a warrior build, specifically Berserker. And this guy is absolute killing machine. Warriors may not be the great tanks, even though they are good. Maybe they are not as great as the brutes or the swordsmen, but they are definitely one of the best damage dealers in the entire game. And this guy here, this Berserker, is absolute killing machine, and we will see that just in a second. As with any other build, I will be focusing on the crafted gear, equipment, and so you guys can easily replicate that in your gameplay. Apart from that, our game plan is as usual. We will see the gameplay, then we will check the details, some food buffs, and then we will wrap things up. So let's see this bad boy in action and jump right into battle. Before we take any action, I just want to show you a couple of stats and explain how this build works. First of all, if we see, we have a really high amount of the strength, and in this build we will be focusing on the strength as much as possible. And also the critical damage, and look at that, 154% critical damage, and this is absolutely insane combined with the skills that we have right there. And you might ask, well, you have the high crit damage, you have high strength, but why does the crit damage matter? The crit chance is really low. That is because we have a special skill right there, which is Daredevil. It is the legendary, or rather the level 12 bravery skill, and it will grant us frenzy for 3 rounds, and it means that we will be critting all the time while the frenzy is active. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So the idea here is, with this build, is that we will maximize strength as much as possible, and then we will also maximize the crit damage, and then we will get the guaranteed crit chance from our bravery skill. Now, even though this lasts for 3 rounds only, if you're not playing huge battles, it is more than enough to just eliminate entire squads. And I will show you like a couple of different approaches to go for the target selection and how you can deal damage to your enemies. First, let's go up against the heavy target, which is their leader, and they have the guard leader's protection, so damage taken is reduced by 20%. This guy also has the high amounts of guard, 58, and really solid armor and health. So anyone would struggle with that, but not the Berserker, and you will see how we'll just melt this guy down. Also, they have a really good gear, so pretty dangerous enemies. So let's first move in there, and now I want to use Daredevil, and this animation looks really nice. So now we are in a frenzy. We have Lone Wolf buff, we are having the crit chance 100%, and we are ready to just slit some throats. So first I'm going to use the throwing skill, which is coming from our throwing weapon. We are going to throw this. Now look what happened. This guy is bleeding. We have applied fragility, which is going to further increase damage to him. And also, because we have applied the bleeding, we have the briny oil here, which is increasing our damage to bleeding targets by 50%. So now we can go there and unleash the rampage. Oh my god, look at that. We did not even have to use our slash skill. So what happened there? Let's take a look at the rampage. So first of all, it is ignoring the guard, and then it says critical hit gains fury. So we are attacking 3 times. So we do the 1 hit, We ignore the guard because it is a critical hit, because we have Daredevil used and we are in frenzy. We have gained Fury, and gaining the Fury on top of our insane crit damage and on top of our briny oil right here that is increasing damage by 50%, the second strike of that was lethal and we just deleted their heaviest target right there. So we even have one attack left, and then we can really pick any other heavy target. Let's pick someone with the highest guard, and I think it's the Raider, no, Renegade. So let's go there, and we can just oh my god, I love this animation. And we can just chop his head off. So unfortunately, sad thing is that we don't have any more attacks, but you see how insanely powerful this guy is. And that's that's one way to do this, and I will now also show you the variation where instead of going for the heavy target, we will go for multiple squishes and hopefully kill 3 of them. Another option to kill more targets, if that's what you need in a given situation, is to go kind of a squishier targets. So we can move in, use the Daredevil so we can get Frenzy. Then we will oh my god, we will just use the throwing axe. It's so fun. We just kill that guy. Then we come here. We of course we of course are going to just absolutely destroy another one, and then we have one shot left, right? Oh my god, what we're gonna do? We only have one attack. No problem. Boom. Look at the amount of damage. Look at this. 1000 damage. So that is absolutely insane. So it's really sad that we don't have any more attacks. But in the end, I have a surprise for you to make this guy unstoppable killing machine, and that build deserves its own place, but I will give you some hints there. So that's it really with the gameplay. To me it is super fun build to play, like this guy having 2 axes, just absolutely destroying anything on the battlefield. So I will also give you a personal story from the Skelmer DLC. If you know that the final battle is the siege. So after you complete the siege, then the final, their most dangerous boss appears. And I kid you not, I was using the 2-handed axe for this guy, and the boss was near it. So I was like, oh yeah, it's dangerous, but maybe I will attack him. So this guy just one-shotted the final boss of the Skelmer DLC with the basic gear, and that was the most ridiculous thing I've seen in this game. He absolutely destroyed it. Unfortunately, I don't have this on recording. In my future gameplay videos, if I will come across that, I will absolutely show you guys that. But it was really fun. So this guy is dangerous. We're gonna be killing lots of enemies, and it's just overall super fun to play. Now, it wouldn't be fair, guys, if I don't show you the a small boss fight right there on the arena with this guy, because this is not only useful on the battlefield, but also against the bosses and arenas and stuff. So, even though it's kind of a squishy boss, it is fair enough to demonstrate the point, and then you can experiment the rest and try it out with the other bosses. So we can come in. Oh yeah, we missed the requirement, but who cares? We use the Daredevil as usual. Now, oh, this poor soul. Now we're going to use the this throwing axe. This guy is bleeding, has fragility, and we are now going to unleash the attack. Look at that! We just cut through this armor like butter. Now we have fury, and boom! um, yeah, that's how good this guy is. Um, yeah, I just did this video for just fun. Obviously, I mean, not you're not gonna be able to kill every boss with that. As I have explained with the ranger build, you have sometimes bosses have just huge amounts of health, and it may not be enough even with that amount of damage to bypass that armor and health. Like when the enemy has like 12,000 health, you know, even this guy has its own limits. But for the most game, it is absolutely fantastic. And thinking of that, why we not go after them? Okay, let's let's have a bit more fun. And let's see. Ooh, how things will go now. Now we have also the rage stacks. So this guy is in real trouble. Woohoo! Oh my god. One boss is gone. Oh yeah, our one is also gone. Who cares? We are doing it for fun. And I'm not sure we will not be able to hit him. We only have one hit, but ah, absolutely fantastic. Look at this. So yeah, it is super fun build, and this was like a nice little fun boss battle right there. And we did this with basic gear, okay? Nothing fancy. You can just play through the game, just level up, and you get there in no time. Let's take a look at the actual build right now. So we of course go for willpower 15, then we go movement to 20, so we can move around the battlefield, and really the rest should just go into the strength. We push everything there, so then we can deal as much damage as possible. As for the traits, if we're starting out or hiring a specific guy, we should go for the strong, because it is increasing strength by 5%. Absolutely awesome. And then you will just accumulate rest of the traits as you play. For example, Julius is really good because it is increasing critical damage, which is something that we want. As for the gear, we have the crafted Acadian steel helmet and armor, medium armor. We have Acadian steel axe and throwing hatchet. So we with this we can just do extra hit. So now let's take a closer look at the gear, specifically the throwing hatchet. Because we want to deal as much damage as possible, we want to be increasing our critical damage as much as possible, and that throwing axe right there is absolutely fantastic. And it is fantastic in many ways. First, it is good because it is increasing critical damage. Now, second, because we will crit all the time, it is going to apply the bleeding, and this ties really nicely to the oil, briny oil, which is increasing damage to bleeding enemies by 50%. So we will, if we just open the attacks with this, no matter the target, we are just going to destroy absolutely everything on the battlefield. So that's why it is awesome. Then we also have, talking about the crit damage, we have the pocket knife. It is something that you can acquire in your gameplay. It's really a common thing, so this is also increasing our critical damage. If you don't have that, that is okay, because there is a slightly worse alternative there. Let me check really. where is this? Yes, lead belt. So it is essentially same, we just lose one movement, so it is craftable, so you can just easily replicate that. So if you don't have the pocket knife, you can just craft this and get the recipe from that. If I remember correctly, it is from Belerion DLC. I don't know exactly, but you guys can look that up. The point is that you can craft this, and then as for the other oil, we have the briny oil to just, of course, increase the damage, but also we have the sharpening oil, which in the early stages, early versions of the game, it was increasing critical hit, but now it is increasing critical damage. So extra 10% right there. It is absolutely fantastic. And for the helmet stamp, we have stimulating coating, which is flat out 20% damage increase against the other units if we hold no debuffs, and ideally we should not have any debuffs. As for the profession, we should go for the blacksmith. Again, we want to increase strength as much as possible, and blacksmith is the way to go. Now let's check the skills, which is absolutely fantastic for this build. Of course, at level 2 we go for Berserker, and all the skills are upgraded, and the upgraded version increases the guard, which is super good against the heavy targets, and also critical hit gains fury. Absolutely fantastic, because we will be critting all the time and we will be just killing machine. So really good thing there. By the way, all of this is on expert gameplay, so if you play anything on expert or below, this build is just fine. So then we go for the Valorous Jewel to generate a bit of Valor, which is nice. At level 5 we should go for the First Blood, which is amazing thing, because First Blood means that enemy needs to be at full health, not necessarily at the full armor. So even if some enemies have reduced armor and full health, we are going to still apply fragility for 2 rounds, and then increase damage against them by 35%. So just imagine when we throw this, so there are multiple things that are happening. First, we are applying the bleeding. We are also applying, because of this, the fragility, and then all the subsequent attacks will deal just massive amounts of damage. So that's why we just almost one-shot at the enemy leader. And then at level 8 we go for the limit break, which is amazing. We are increasing critical damage by 50%, and then at level 10 we go for Lone Wolf, because we just want to jump into the enemy, and usually we are away from them, so this is also increasing our damage by 10%. And at level 12, this is just a final piece of the puzzle, Daredevil. This is what allows us to have the guaranteed crit damage and maximize the strength as much as possible. Now these skills are unlocked after you do the arena fight, so if you don't have them during leveling up, you can go for the level 5 at recklessness, or you can just altogether skip that and just wait until you win the arena fights, then you can pick the skill. Same here, this is we gain this from the arena fights once we compete and win. So if you don't have this, ecstasy can be good, but again you can ignore that, and the rest is really easy. You just pick the Lone Wolf and then Daredevil. Besides the skills, this guy is really versatile, because in the early game, before you just become absolutely killing machine, you can equip him with the shield, and you can also tank a bit of damage. And on that note, I think I have missed the armor layers, and here we go 3 times Hesura Brush, which is again increasing our strength with quite substantial amount, even though we are losing the armor. But in this case we play aggressively, we are not to tank the damage, so we want to deal the damage, and that's what exactly we are doing. And plus 10 strength is absolutely amazing for this build. Now let's take a look at the food buff that I've used. It is lakefish food, which is granting all our companions ability to gain one rage whenever they attack. So this is absolutely awesome. This is for free. You don't have to grind for that. Once you have a tavern, you can go there, and because this food is a specialty, you can assign it to one of your cooks, and whenever after the rest they prepare it, one for the tavern and one for your troops, so you essentially have it for free. That's why I use it all the time in my builds, and I think you should use that too. So it is just making your damage dealers more effective. So when we will be dealing this damage, we will be accumulating rage stacks, and this guy will become stronger and stronger. So I highly recommend to have that food with you. Now let's talk about the build variations here. First and obvious one is that you can go for the two-handed weapon to deal more damage, but I think dealing more damage doesn't really do anything, because if you just kill the enemies, which this guy is doing absolutely fine, then more damage makes no sense. I mean, if they're dead, and they're not gonna do anything, you know. But if you fancy that, be my guest, use that. Alternatively, with the X throw, you can use the alchemical version of that, which is also ignoring the guard, but it's a bit expensive in a sense that you need to just craft this first and then craft the other version. And also, ignoring the guard and again killing the enemies is not a problem for this guy, so I don't see that there is much benefit to, you know, ignore the enemy's guard. If you're maybe going against the bosses, that can be good, but even then, this is, you know, I have just one shot at the most dangerous boss in the game, or not the most dangerous, but one of the dangerous bosses in the game with this guy. So I mean, I don't use that. If you want to, you can go for that. Also, as I've said previously, you can go for the shield if you want a bit more tankiness. That is fine. For the helmet stamps, anything that will increase your damage here is good. If you don't have that, that is also okay. You can just skip that, but I highly recommend, if you have this helmet stamp, put this there. For the oils, briny oil, you need to get this from the actual the pit battles. You get it relatively early, but if you don't have this, maybe you can use the perforating oil to just reduce the guard for this slash and extra skills. This is also fine. And well, sharpening oil is just really easy to get. You get this in Tiltron, and you should have no problem having that. If you don't have this, I don't know any other good options, because we really want to maximize the critical damage. Again, you know, you can skip that, and I have already talked about the pocket knife. If you don't have that, that is fine. You can craft similar thing, although we will lose one movement, and that is also fine. As for the alternatives, you can go for the, because we are doing multiple attacks, we can go for the unstable. Where is that? Do I even have that? Where is this? Perforating oil, unstable oil. Yeah, this one. So you can go for the unstable oil instead of briny oil, and then unstable oil concentrate to really trigger the attacks of opportunity. Because if you think about it, we are doing lots of damage, and even this is a range damage. We can stay closer to the enemy, and this also can, if I'm not mistaken, potentially trigger the attacks of opportunity from unstable oil. So if you want to go to that route, be my guest, do that. Um, as for the legendary gear, anything that you have and enhances damage for this guy is good. But as you see with this basic gear, it is fantastic. Specifically, nice would be to have the I have it on another character, Faithless, which is Elazarian X throw. It is increasing critical damage by 10%. and then it is just going to throw knives automatically, not the knives but the axe automatically as we use the skill, but we lose the active skill. And also this is increasing critical damage even more than this one, so I kind of prefer that. So my idea was really to maximize the strength and crit damage with this build, because Daredevil then allows us to uh, guarantee us to crit all the time first 3 rounds, which is fine for this build. So that's how the variations can look. um, if you will come up with any crazier ideas, just go for it. It is just super fun for me to play. And yeah, I think that is it with the build variations. So I think this is it for this build. I have talked about everything, and I just want to show you one piece of gear there that is really interesting, and I'm going to make a video, separate one, about this. So this is Herser's two-handed axe, and it has a really special skill when we attack. Fatal Blow. This skill can be reused in this round. And it means that if we can kill enemies, we can infinitely spam that. And I will just stop right there. I'm not gonna spoil more things for you guys, but I will definitely make a video about this specific weapon and this guy, and you will see how absolutely game breaking that thing is. But let's just leave it at that, and we will see it in the next one. So overall, I think this is super fun build, at least for me. It looks cool. This guy is mean and is ready to just chop everything. And that's the why I make these guides to just make game fun, and so you guys can also enjoy the game as much as I do. And if you like that kind of playstyle with the as I have shown you with Berserker, then you will have absolutely fun time if you go for this build. So if you like such content, the build guides and other videos, check my other content. And if you enjoyed that one, click the like button, subscribe, and share it with your friends.